This is Optimal Living Daily, episode 314, How to Not Lose, by Eliezer Yudkowsky with I'llTeachYouToBeRich.com, and I'm your host and personal narrator, Justin Malik. Happy Thursday. We're almost to the weekend again and getting close to the end of October already, which is hard to believe. That means we're also getting close to another book giveaway here on the show. If you want a chance to win books from me, packaged up and mailed to you by me personally, just make sure you're on my email list. I send out an email once a week with a quote, life tips, and just some updates of what's going on in my life. It's pretty simple, really, and just for being a part of that, you'll get some spreadsheets from me and be a part of those book raffles every single month. You can join at oldpodcast.com or just text the word optimal to the number 44222. And with that, let's hear this guest post on I Will Teach You to Be Rich and start optimizing your life. How to Not Lose by Eliezer Yudkowsky with I'llTeachYouToBeRich.com. Everyone thinks they can win. Cognitive psychologists call it the Lake Woebegone effect, after the fictional town where all the women are strong, all the men are good looking, and all the children are above average. 4/5 of drivers think they're in the top third. Half of all sociologists expect to someday be among the top 10 leaders in the field. Not a single U.S. state will admit to test scores below the national average. Am I going to tell you that you're not as good as you think you are? Well, maybe you are that good. I don't know. I haven't met you. That's not the point I aim to make. Not today, anyway. But think for a moment about all the self-help books out there that can tell you, yes, you, how you too can be amazingly successful if you just use their simple technique. Think about the stock market investing books that promise that you, yes, you, can be the next Warren Buffett. Or the entrepreneurial books written by some fellow who cashed out back in the dot-com era about how you, yes you, can be the next Bill Gates or Larry Page. And then there's the gigantic industry and business books telling every barista how to run the next Starbucks and every janitor how to be the best CEO in the Fortune 500. I call these books financial pornography, and the information in them is, by and large, useless if you want to succeed in life. It seems to me that every profession has a different way to be smart. A hedge fund trader isn't the same kind of smart as a research biologist. A corporate CEO isn't the same kind of smart as a blogger. On the other hand, the ways of being stupid verge on human universals. Casey Sarin, a 24-year-old programmer with no experience in real estate, got himself $2.2 million into debt by lying on mortgage applications to purchase 8 houses in 8 different states. And that's not even the sad part. The sad part is that afterward, he refused to give up. He went on spending money on real estate seminars and tried to take out a mortgage on a 9th house. He hadn't failed, he just had a learning experience. A good many CEOs could stand to learn from Casey Sarin. It's called the sunk cost fallacy in the literature. The tendency to throw good money after bad because that way you don't have to admit you lost. When Lockheed finally abandoned the 13-year-old TriStar L-1011 program into which it had previously sunk $2.5 billion, its stock jumped 7 3/4 points the day after the announcement. Can you think of any politicians pouring more and more effort into a failing effort so that they don't have to admit failure? That was the Vietnam War in a nutshell. Casey Sarin has something to teach senators and presidents. How about stock traders riding a losing investment into oblivion? There are people out there who used to trade billions of dollars who could have stood to learn from Casey Sarin. The sad truth is that Warren Buffett can't teach you how to be Warren Buffett. That kind of extraordinary success is extraordinary precisely because it can't be taught. All those books of financial pornography about the superstars, if it was that simple, everyone really would be doing it. There are winning tricks that everyone can use, yes. There's do repeatable experiments to test your beliefs, an amazingly powerful technique called science that was successfully taught to others, hence modern civilization. There's invest your money to make more money. You may not beat the market like Warren Buffett, but if you think about a whole civilization practicing that rule, we do better nowadays than historical societies with no banks or stock markets. But the fact that there are a lot more scientists than Warren Buffett's should tip you off that Warren Buffett's trick isn't as easy to teach as the experimental method. The really valuable information in life tends to be about how to not lose rather than how to be a superstar. You've got more to learn from meditating on Casey Sarin than from reading about Bill Gates. If you're stuck in a lousy job, being mistreated and underpaid, you ain't getting out of there by founding the next Microsoft, no matter how hard you study the life of William Henry Gates III. But Casey Sarin might teach you how to admit your mistakes and cut your losses. But that kind of truth can be uncomfortable to face. It's a lot easier to sell financial pornography, pleasant fantasies about how you, yes you, can be the next superstar than to sell the truth. That you, yes you, are screwing up big time and need to change your ways. Yes, I know someone has to be the next superstar, but the point is, they aren't going to get there by reading financial pornography. And another thing, never think you can be a superstar without a lot of effort. You probably can't beat the market at all, but you're certainly not going to systematically beat the stock market in your off hours without devoting your whole professional life to being a super investor. Indeed, one of the standard ways to fail, which you can learn to avoid with only a small time investment, is thinking that you can cherry pick the stock market. Forget the pleasant fantasies and study the history of catastrophe. Every time you read online about an epic failure, ask yourself, what am I doing that's like that? Want to be a great CEO? Don't read about Microsoft, read about Enron. It'll teach you something even if you never start your own company. You can even study the systematic cognitive science of human error. And maybe then you'll get a chance to win, or more likely, live nicely but not as a superstar. But first, you have to not lose. You just listened to the post titled How to Not Lose by Eliezer Yudkowsky with I'llTeachYouToBeRich.com. And again, that was a guest post on Ramit Sethi's site. And actually a guest author that I've read here on the show before. I read a post called The Planning Fallacy by him back in episode 258. So if you enjoyed today's reading, you might want to check that one out too, if you haven't heard it yet. And one more time, if you want to be a part of book raffles and get some spreadsheets from me to optimize your life, just come by oldpodcast.com and you can enter your email address there. It's a really nice and free way to show me that you like what you hear. And you can also text in. That's a faster way to join. Just text the word optimal to the number 44222. And I'll leave it at that. I'll see you in tomorrow's show with a post from Jay Money of Budgets Are Sexy, where your optimal life awaits.
Hey, this is Dan from the Optimal Finance Daily podcast, which is a lot like this show, except more focused on personal finance. Justin handpicks the best posts he can find from blogs and authors like Ramit Sethi, Mr. Money Mustache, and more, and I read them to you 5 days a week. So if you enjoy this podcast, come on over and subscribe to Optimal Finance Daily too. And together, we'll optimize your financial life.
You've been listening to Optimal Living Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's OLDpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.